Hi everyone, and welcome to our third lecture, which is all about the defining product strategy. So first is, no, how are we going to define your product vision? So when you say the word vision, it is a long-term aspirational view of what your product aims to achieve. And it serves as the guiding star, providing directions for the future. So remember, when we talk about vision, ano ba yung gusto mo mangyari regarding dun sa product mo, no? Sino ba yung gusto mong ma-reach nito na target market? And ano ba yung mga development that may occur for your product? So why is it crucial? So it inspires and motivates the team by articulating a shared purpose. And also, it helps stakeholders and customers understand the product's ultimate goal. So, hindi lang naman yung team yung kinoconsider natin, but also the stakeholders and also the customers. No? When we talk about stakeholders, it could be the other employees, it could be the suppliers. No? So, dapat is naintindihan nila ano ba yung ultimate goal ng product. Then, how to craft an effective vision? So, it should be aligned with the organization values and mission. And at the same time, it should be clear, concise, and memorable so that everyone could able to remember it. And of course, it should paint a vivid picture of the future state with impact. So, whenever we're going to create a vision, sabi nga dito, kailangan may vivid picture or pag sinabing vivid, clear picture, no? No ano bang ang gusto nating mangyari in the future. Next is establishing the mission. So first, let's define the mission. It clearly articulates the purpose and values that guide your product's daily operations. Also, it answers the question rather, why does our product exist? So dito sa mission, no, sinasabi ano ba yung purpose ng product natin, bakit ba ito nag-exist? It could be filling in a gap, no, regarding the expectation and actual need of the product, no. So just like, of course, using the Grab app, no, the Panda app, no. So meron dong gap na pinupulfill, which is yung mga customers ayaw na nilang pumunta dun sa mga store, they just want the products or food products to be delivered. What are the components of a mission statement? So we have the core values, which is the fundamental beliefs guiding decision making. And also we have purpose, which is the broader reason for the product's existence. So ito yung component, no, ng isang mission statement. Nandun dapat daw yung values, paniniwala, para pag nagde-decide yung company, is yun yung parang basis nila. At ano ba yung purpose nga kagaya ng sinabi ko, which is a deeper reason bakit ba nag-exist yung product. And of course, we have the impact, which how the product positively affects users or the world. Kung yung paano ba yung product na yon nakakatulong sa iba. Benefits of a strong mission. It fosters a sense of identity and belonging among team members. It also communicates to customers what your product stands for. So, how are we going to bring vision and mission together? So, we have this what we call alignment with stakeholders. So, as mentioned, it ensured that the vision and mission resonate with both internal teams and external stakeholders. It should regularly communicate and reinforce these guiding principles. So, kumbaga, kung sino man yung gumagawa ng product, no, and yung stakeholders na nasa labas ng company, dapat talagang it should be aligned, no, dun sa kanilang vision at mission. Nang sa ganon, ma-communicate ito at maging guiding principles ito ng both internal team at external stakeholders. Adaptability and evolution. So recognize that vision and missions may evolve as product and market change. Be open to refining and updating to stay relevant. So, adaptability and revolution, ito yung kung may mga pagbabago man sa demand, pagbabago man sa environment, so that product no, should be able to adapt and evolve. Next is strategic goal setting for success. So here we have the significance of strategic goal setting. First is strategic alignment. So goals align with a broader business strategy. It ensures that every goal contributes to the overall success of the product and organization. So since nga yung ating strategy is a long term, so dapat yung goals natin, no, yung mga small goals natin should be aligned with the overall strategy or overall success. Ang sa ganun, um, may direction, no, yung ating tina-target. Guiding decision making. So it provides a framework for prioritization and resource allocation. It assists in decision making by offering a clear direction for the team. So for example, no, meron tayong budget. Are we going to distribute the products from Luzon to Mindanao? Are we going to just focus on one area? Are we going to establish a warehouse somewhere else? Yung mga ganun. So it should no, it should be a guiding it should be a guide no for decision making. Developing SMART goals. So we already know this, but we need to just to recap. First is be specific. It should be clearly defined what needs to be achieved. It avoid vague language to ensure everyone understand the objective. Another one is measurable. So of course, it establish quantifiable criteria for tracking progress. It define how success will be measured to gauge goal attainment. Next is achievable. It set goals that are challenging yet realistic. It also consider available resources and constraints. Next is letter D, relevant. It ensure goals are aligned with the overall vision and mission. Each goal should contribute meaningfully to the product success. And lastly is time-bound. Define a clear time frame for goal achievement and set deadlines to create a sense of urgency and focus. So definitely these are the SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Objectives align with business goals. So we have to connect the dots, no? So how are we going to do that? So each objective should directly support a specific business goal. Understand how achieving the objective contributes to the overall success of the product. For example, we could able to connect the dots between the sales and customer satisfaction, that we need to increase the sales, but at the same time, we have to ensure that they are satisfied. Measuring progress. So implement key performance indicators to track progress. So we have to regularly assess and adjust objectives are needed. Importance of measurement and adaptation. So we have this quantifiable progress. So it is a measurement allows for objective evaluation of progress. It helps in identifying what's working and what needs adjustment. For example, of quantifiable progress is market share. If there's a quantifiable progress there, that for example, if your current market share is 30%, then you have to, let's say, have additional increase in 10% in the market share for you to be able to show that your marketing strategy are working. Next is adaptability. So be ready to adapt goals based on changing market conditions or internal factors. Flexibility ensures continued relevance and effectiveness. Next is communicating goals to the team. So transparency and accountability. So, communicate goals clearly to foster a shared understanding. And at the same time, encourage accountability at all levels of the organization. So, when we say the word transparent, every information updates should be communicated to all team members. And at the same time, pag sinabi natin accountability, there should be accountable person to handle certain targets. Understanding your product in the marketplace. So, first is conducting a comprehensive competitive analysis. So here, we have to identify competitors. So, identify direct and indirect competitors in the market. And at the same time, we have to understand the landscape to recognize both traditional and emerging challengers. So, always remember that competitors, whether direct or indirect, has an impact on our business. And especially, no, those emerging challengers na masasabi natin na booming competitors. So, we have to ensure na kung may mga emerging challengers ay natatapatan natin yun at mas nahihigitan pa natin. SWOT analysis of competitors. So here we evaluate competitor strengths and weaknesses. Also, it identifies potential opportunities and threats they might pose. Next is market trends and customer needs. So here, we have to analyze current market trends affecting the industry. And we have to understand customer needs, preferences in relation to competitor offerings. So always remember yung market trends, napaka-importante yan kasi it affects really the industry. So ganun din, kailangan din nating tingnan yung mga in-offer na competitors kung align ba yan dun sa current market trends kasi pag yan ay align at hindi natin nagagawa, syempre lilipat yung mga customers natin sa competitors. Next is crafting an effective positioning strategy. So here we have the differentiation, which is define what sets your product apart from competitors. It emphasizes unique features, quality, or customer experience. Next is target audience. So it identify and understand your target audience. And at the same time, it tailor positioning to resonate with the needs and preference of your audience. Next is value proposition. So it clearly articulates the value of your product that you bring to customers. And it demonstrates how your product addresses specific pain points. So, of course, no, pag nagpo-positioning strategy ka, isa sa mga ginagawa mo is differentiation. So, paano ba naiba yung product mo from competitors? At syempre, dapat meron kang target audience, no? Dapat may specific ka na audience na alam mo yung needs at preference nila. Okay? At pag gagawa ka ng value proposition, kailangan nakikreate siya ng value dun sa target audience mo or target customers mo at kailangan yung mga pain points nila, for example, nahihirapan sa ganito, kaya nagkaroon ng Grab food, mga ganon, kaya nagkaroon ng angkas kasi may problem sa transportation system. So this could be some of the value proposition offered by these apps. Strategies for effective positioning. So we have the first, cost leadership, which is position your product as the most cost-effective solution. Emphasize affordability and value for money. We have also product differentiation, which is highlight unique features, innovation, or quality. And at the same time, emphasizes how your product stands in the market. Next is niche targeting. So here we focus on a specific market segment and we tailor your product messaging to meet the unique needs of that niche. So, cost leadership dito daw is nag-offer ka daw ng pinaka cost-effective solution. Kumbaga, pag nagbabayad yung customer, talagang sulit, no? Value for money. Talagang ikaw yung pinaka the best provider for the specific product. Kunyari, it could be yung naglilinis ng aircon, no? They provide service. So, pwedeng ikaw yung pinakamababa pero pinakamagandang serbisyo. Also, we mentioned this product differentiation. You focus on your unique features that is different from competitors. And niche targeting, kunyari, no, you're offering your product specifically to the male, no? Okay, you're specifically offering your product to the female, ages 16 to 21 kasi fashionable yung products mo. So, ganun yun. Adapting to market dynamics. So, first is continuous monitoring. So, you have to regularly monitor changes in the competitive landscape. You have to stay informed about new entrants, innovation, and market shifts. Also, we need to have this agile positioning wherein we have to be prepared to adapt positioning based on market dynamics. We have to have agility, which is ensuring relevance and competitiveness over time. Importance of customer feedback. So, customer perception. So here we gather feedback on how customers perceive your product and compared to competitors. We also use insights to refine positioning strategies. Then we have also iterative improvement. So here we continuously iterate and improve positioning based on customer feedback. Also, this iterative process ensures ongoing alignment with market expectations. So how are we going to evaluate internal strength and weaknesses? First is understanding SWOT analysis. So here, what is SWOT? SWOT stands for strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It is a strategic planning tool for evaluating internal and external factors affecting your product. So, importante itong SWOT na to kasi talagang tinitingnan natin ano ba yung mga internal factors and external factors na naka-apekto dun sa product natin. We have internal focus. So here, we focuses on internal factors within your organization. Assessing internal strength. So, identifying core competencies. So, what are the unique capabilities that give your product a competitive advantage? Consider factors rather such as expertise, resources, and intellectual property. So, yung competitive advantage, no, kunyari, yung Shakey's, no, even though Pizza Hut is also offering thin crust pizza, but in terms of the quality and superiority, then Shakey's is far beyond Pizza Hut, something like that. Positive attributes. So here, we evaluate positive attributes like brand reputation, skilled personnel, and efficient processes. It identifies aspects that contribute to the overall success of your product. Next is recognizing internal weaknesses. So here, we have the operational challenges, wherein what internal factors hinder your product success. Look into areas such as outdated technology, inefficient processes, and limited resources. So ito yung ilan sa mga parang hindrances sa operation, kung yung technology, hindi pa updated, pangit yung proseso, so maraming defects, yung mga ganun, at limited yung resources. Pwedeng kulang yung pera, kulang yung assets, no, to produce the products. Areas for improvement. So here, identify aspects that need improvement for internal processes to skill gaps. It recognizes weaknesses to develop strategies for enhancement. Exploring external opportunities. So here we have the market trends and developments. So what external factors can positively impact your product? And consider emerging market trends, technological advancement, or regulatory changes. For example, the rise of e-commerce really increases the market share of the product since once you use e-commerce, even though you are, let's say your product is in Luzon, it could be now delivered to Mindanao with the use of the courier. Collaboration and partnerships. So here we explore opportunities for collaborations with other organizations. It identifies ways to leverage external factors for mutual benefits. Anticipating external threats. So we have the market competition. So what external factor could pose challenges to your product success? Assess competitive threats and market saturation. So ano ba yung mga possible na maging challenges dun sa product success mo, no? Pwede yun nga yung mga competitive threats, yung mga competitors mo, may mga strategies sila, at ganun yung market saturation. Yung mga customers parang hindi na gusto yung product, parang nagsasawa na sila. Economic and regulatory risk. So consider economic downturns or changes in regulations that may impact your product. Also, develop strategies to mitigate potential threats. So, possible din kasi na magkaroon ng mga economic downturn, kagaya ng pandemic, no, na talaga na bumaba yung ekonomiya kasi hindi pwede mag-operate yung business. So, dapat gumagawa tayo ng strategies para ma-mitigate yung mga ganong potential risk. And lastly, strategic implication of SWOT analysis. So, here we are trying to leverage strength and opportunities. So we have to capitalize on internal strength to maximize external opportunities. We have to align product strategy to leverage unique competencies. So dito is nagpo-focus tayo dun sa internal strength para makuha daw natin yung possible na opportunities. And addressing weaknesses and threats. We have to develop strategies to overcome internal weaknesses and mitigate external threats through proactive planning and adaptation. So dapat kahit hindi pa nangyayari yung mga possible weaknesses or threats ay nagiging proactive tayo, ginagawa na natin ng paraan para ma-prevent or to minimize the impact of that. So that's all and thank you.